Hi, welcome. Stretching today. All right, thank you for joining me, for taking the 10 minutes to stretch with me. We are gonna start with downward facing dog. So let's first walk it out. So meet me at the end of your mat. Let's take a nice big inhale. Exhale it down. Hang out in that forward bend for a little bit. Ignore all the beeps and buzzes. Drop your head and then slowly walk your hands out. And just like that, we're in plank position, but we're not gonna stay here. We're gonna come up into downward facing dog. So bring your hips all the way up, pedal your heels, take your dog for a walk. That's what the yogis say. I've heard that. I've heard them say that, and I like it. All right, all 10 fingers pressing into the floor. Nice strong shoulders right here. Really good stretch. Get those hips up, get those ankles and those heels down towards the ground. Good, and then slowly shift that weight forward and let's come into that plank. Good, hold that plank and then back up to downward facing dog. And then follow your breath. Exhaling down to plank, inhaling up to downward facing dog. I'm just doing a little back and forth. Slow and steady. If you need to bring your knees down for a little break, go for it. This is not supposed to be strenuous. This is not supposed to be a workout. I promise it's not. Good, let's come one more time. Downward facing dog and then drop those knees, go wide with them, feet together. Let's come into a child's pose. So hips back. Elbows engaged. Nice strong arms here. Drop your head down, forehead to the floor. Try to get those hips as back close to your heels as possible. Let that belly drop. Good. And let's slowly come up. We'll come to table pose. And then from here, we're gonna tuck our toes, lift our hips up, downward facing dog yet again. And this time we're gonna lift up our right foot. So three-legged dog, little dog split. And then we're gonna take that left right foot, bring it between both hands, up at the top of the mat, and a nice high lunge right here. And then I want you to take that back foot. I want you to hop it forward a couple inches, and then drop that heel, extend that front leg, and let's swoop on up. Sorry, I did it so my back is to you. My bad. We're gonna come into warrior two. So arms extended out, legs nice and long. And then bend that front knee and come forward. Keeping that back heel, that left heel on the floor as best you can. That right knee right over that right ankle. Good, and then let's drop our left hand to the back leg and let's lift up our right arm to the sky. Get a nice good stretch in the front of the body. Or actually the right side of the body. And release it down, bring your hands all the way back down, both hands to the floor. Walk that back foot back a little bit more. Nice high lunge, looking up. Good, and then bring that right foot back to plank, and then up to downward facing dog. Good job. Good work. All right, let's do the same thing on the left side. So left leg comes up, and then sweep it underneath, bring it to the top of your mat right between both hands. Look up, nice high lunge. Good, and then hop that back foot closer, just a few inches. Drop the heel on the floor and swoop those arms up. Warrior two. You can extend that front leg, standing up nice and tall, and then slowly let that left leg bend. Keep that right heel on the floor. Reaching forward, reaching behind you. Stretching in both directions, and then drop that right hand, lift that left arm up towards the sky. I think this is peaceful warrior. I'm not 100% sure. I like it though. Come back to warrior two, bring the hands all the way down. And then that back foot comes to face forward, and then bring your left foot back to the right. Good, and then downward facing dog. Pedal the feet if you would like. Lift those hips up. And again, let's lift up that right leg. Nice and high. A really good split right here, and then bring that leg forward to the top of your mat, right between both hands. Nice high lunge. And again, hop that foot a little bit more forward. Drop the back heel. And again, swoop into your warrior two, but then extend that front leg, and then reach forward. Hinging from your hips, reaching forward, and then drop your right hand down, either to your shin, to your knee, to your ankle, to the floor, keeping that front leg extended. And you're gonna twist to the left. And you're gonna raise up that left hand, reaching up towards the sky, while reaching down towards the floor with your right. And you're twisting, opening your heart up, looking up if you can, and breathing. Don't forget to breathe. Good, let's bring that left arm down. And we're going to bring the right hand up to the right knee, extending forward. If you want, bring that elbow to the right knee, your right elbow on top of your right knee. I really should be facing the other way. You know, I'm gonna do this. Okay, that's better. Hi guys. Okay, so now we're in this position. We're gonna bring our palms together. A nice little twist, prayer pose. And hold that for a breath. Good. And then relax. Bring your hands down. I'm gonna switch back to the way that I was. And let's just come back into plank. That was a really not graceful explanation of how to do it, but let's meet back in downward facing dog, shall we? Okay. Now from here, we're gonna bring our left leg up. So we're gonna do the same thing on the left side. So extend that leg up to a 3-leg dog split, and then bring it down, swoop it to the front, in between both hands. Looking up, nice big inhale. And then hop that back foot forward just a little bit. Come up into a warrior two. Good, and then extend that front leg. Nice and tall from the torso, all the way up to the crown of your head. Nice and long. Hinge forward from your hips, keeping that front leg straight, toes pointing forward. And then drop that left hand down to wherever it's comfortable and lift that right arm up. Opposing energies, you're reaching up and you're reaching down at the same time. Opening up your heart, looking up if you can. Woo, try not to fall. I almost lost it there. Good, let's bring that right arm down. Slowly bend that left knee. You can bring your left elbow to the left knee. And then if you want, bring your palms together. Nice little prayer pose right here. Twisting and opening up. Pressing into that left knee, opening up that thigh a little bit. I feel it. I'm usually pretty tight right there, so that's kind of why. You're doing great. Good, and let's release the hands, bring them down to the floor. Turn that back foot forward. Hinge those hips looking up, and then bring that left foot back to the right. Back to plank, and into downward facing dog. All right, from here we're gonna shift the weight forward and bring our knees down to the floor. If you wanna get a mat or something, a blanket to put under your knees, go for it. We're gonna come up from our knees, so knees, hips, shoulders, everything's lined up. And we're gonna tuck our toes underneath. And if you want, just start opening up those shoulders and doing a slight, ever so slight back bend. You can hold it here, keep that chin tucked in. Looking up, opening up the front of that body. And if you want to take it a little deeper, take that right hand, reach behind you for that right heel. It's there, just gotta reach forward a little bit. Bring your fingertips to it. Then do the same thing to the left side. Bring those fingertips and look up. Opening up your chest, stretching the front of your body, feeling those abs, those hard-working abs. Good, and then bring your right hand back to the front, bring your left, back to the front, hands to the floor, and let's come into table pose, and from here we're gonna thread that needle, so bring your left hand through and under your right, bring your left shoulder to the floor, resting your head on the floor if you can, hips stay up, you can walk that right hand forward if that feels good, let that shoulder drop a little bit, and then you can walk it back and then press into that hand and come back to table pose. Shimmy those hips a little bit, get that spine back to neutral. And let's do the same thing on the opposite side. So the right hand scoops underneath the left, bring that right shoulder to the floor. Keep those hips elevated. Good, and you can spider crawl your fingers forward. And let that shoulder stretch out a little bit, that left shoulder. You can even bring your hand all the way up. Although that never really felt good for me, I like to stretch it out in front. Good, and then slide that left hand back, press into it. Come back to table. Let's finish off with a little cat-cow, so nice big inhale. Exhale, drop the head, pull that belly button in. Nice big inhale, looking up, hips dip, and then exhale, pull that belly button in, drop your head. Let's do that one more time. Nice big inhale, exhale it out, press through those shoulders, stretch those shoulder blades out. Good, and then come back to neutral. Come to your heels, come to sit on your heels. And let's take one final inhale. Good, and exhale it down. And there you go. Thank you guys so much for joining me. That was it. 10 minutes of super easy stretching, but doesn't that feel kind of good? I don't know, I feel a little better, a little looser. All right guys, thank you so much. I will see you